Okay, good morning, everyone. Let us wait one more minute, then we can start. Okay, let's start. So, just to go back previously, what we covered in previous 5 classes, it was we went through chapter one, that was master data, then was purchasing, that how the purchase requisition should be created, and how the purchasing info record for the each purchase requisition has to be created. What is the screen navigation to be done in this? Then later on, how to purchase. If the price has been changed, then how to change the purchase requisition, how to update the records in the SAP. Then also we went through chapter 3, quotations, how a quotation has to be, or a request for quotation has to be created in SAP. Then how to compare different prices from different quotations, or yeah, how when you receive a quotation, it can be rejected and that data it can be saved in system. Now, chapter 4 was how to create a purchase order from the source list when you have already a source list in the system. Then how purchase order has to be created. Then how to create a purchase order with reference, which is a manual, how it has been created. Then also once the PO has been created or saved in the system, then how it has to be changed. If you want to make any changes in the PO later on, if there is revisions from the vendor or buyer, then how to change the purchase order. So now today in chapter 5, we will go to the invoice section, how to post goods receipt or GR receipt, how it has to be done. Okay, once the PO has been created, then once the supplier will deliver the goods to your warehouse or to your company or to your designated designated area where you have mentioned that food has to be delivered, then what you will do is you can once you receive the goods, after that checking if it is matching as per the purchase order sent purchase order sent then you can use the standard transaction called MIGO. Okay, MIGO is the standard transaction for the warehouse personnel, where he will use it to receive the goods in SAP, that everyone will know, whoever is using the system, that goods against this order has been received. Okay. See, this is the screen navigation where we can see this Migo has been entered here, MIGO. Then when it is executed, you will see this screen. Okay. Once the screen is there, you will first select here from the drop down from the one which is highlighted in red. Once you select, you can see goods received, goods issue, and other and the document number. All these options are there. So once you select A01, then this is goods receipt, which means you are going to receive goods against purchase order. Okay, in the next tab or next option in the two, then you will select R01, which is the purchase order. It can be also for the service order, framework order, whatever it is. All the GR, the goods receipt, has to be done from Migo only. Okay, this is the standard tree code where you can do the GR. So once you select here the purchase order, next you will have to enter the PO number. Okay, the purchase order number itself for which you are going to do the GR. So this is very important. If this is wrong, then the data will be wrongly entered. So make sure you are going through the correct purchase order. This is tab number 3. Once you enter these three information, then this here goods receipt number will automatically appear. 101 is nothing but the what you tell, the standard number or movement number, goods movement usually we call as. So this goods receipt, GR goods receipt 101 will be entered here, or it will be automatically picked up by the system. Okay, here what we are telling. You can see that the items of the purchase order have been transferred to the screen. Okay, here. See now, as we were in the start, we are taking the sample of the LCD TV. We took this sample from the creation stage, okay, how it has to be created, uh, how the RFQ was sent for TV, how it was info was created, how the material data was created, how the PO was created. So complete cycle and all information was given as a sample through this LCD TV. So now we have the same PO which we are going to receive. So assume that supplier has delivered to you LCD TV. So now we are going to just receive it in our step one. So later here it is mentioned as here you can enter the data document posting and choose the appropriate printing message. One second, now someone has muted their mic. Okay. So if you look at the stock type for both items, you can see that first item is posted in the quality inspection, and second is posted directly to unrestricted stock. Quality inspection, here there is one field which will mention that it has been posted in directly unrestricted stock. So to influence the material master for further processing in animal model, You can also click the checkbox in the post inspection view stock, which will be inspected again in the post. Step 3, now we can check if items are okay and posted in the GR. So next step, once you execute this information, then you will see this document collective slip. Okay, then you will click this checkbox, what it was mentioned above. Here the stock type. Okay, if unrestricted means it will directly be the GR will be done. If quality inspection means another step has been added. So this checkbox is used to confirm that the items are okay. Otherwise, you won't be able to do a post goods receipt. Okay, PGR is nothing but post goods receipt. After ticking the checkboxes, if document is ready for posting, if there are warnings or error, system will show a pop-up screen. So once if you have some error regarding the material master, or if there is a error because if it is not created properly, then here the goods receipt cannot be done. So what you have to do is you can do is once you this the check, if you can see if there is a check button here. Once this has been clicked, then what will happen? It will show the error in the system that there is this type of error. For example, if material has not been extended to the warehouse or it has not been created properly, then system will pop up a message in a new screen. It will show you what is the error. Then that error has to be communicated with the concerned team member who is handling the material master or whoever has the access to that particular transaction. And basically, it is the person who created the PO. Then what will happen? He will do the necessary corrections in SAP. Then next step is once you execute this process again in Migo, then you will be able to post the goods. So that is why it is better you have to click this check button here. Then you will come to know what is the issue. If everything is okay, then it will show you it's okay for posting. Then and green small button will appear. See here, this is the thing I was talking about. So once you click on check, then it should be okay. Then if there is no error, then you can just click on post. Post means save. Also this button here, let me show you this. Okay, save. It will be in red after the check document is complete. Then you can just click on save or post. Okay, after this has been done, this each document number is assigned, each GR number, all the document numbers are unique. So once the material document has been posted, you will get a unique number. This will be saved permanently in the system. So this is the document number 50000235770, which has been created against this receiving of against these two items of LCD TV and against the purchase order which you entered here. This one, okay, this purchase order. So next is how to perform an invoice verification. So to perform invoice verification, you will just use Myro as a key T code. In step number 1, we will enter the T code, the transaction code, in the small dialog box as MIRO. Then what we will do is enter the invoice transaction type. We will select invoice here in step 2, transaction type, what you are doing. Okay, then you will enter the invoice date here. Okay, invoice date. You should follow the hard document or the soft document which you will have as an invoice from the supplier or buyer side. Once you enter this invoice number here, uh, yes, reference. The invoice number can be entered here in reference. Then you have to enter the date of invoice and the posting date is automatic. Okay, it will pick up the today's date whenever you are. Then what you will do in step 4 is you will enter the PO number here for which order you are going to invoice. Okay. Once you click this and enter, the amount will be automatically picked up by the system that against this PO and this PO line item, what is the amount, what is the quantity here, item 1, 2, it has been picked up. Then quantity, it will be picked up by the system. Okay. And also the total amount you can see here. This data will automatically be picked up by the system. And here you can see the VAT and currency also, whatever the currency is there, it will be picked up here automatically. So here what check you have to do is just you have to make sure the final amount, okay, the amount has been matching with the total as per the invoice. So once you enter the amount here, then here the balance you will see if there is some error. If it is green, then it is good. If it is red, then there is mismatch in the invoice. So here you will go to the payment tab in the invoice, then you will select invoice verification. Okay, here what it is saying that you have to check the if there are any problems in the document. That review the message and fix the problem. So okay, here what you will do, you will click the messages here. Okay, so once you have entered, see, you have entered what below tolerance. So price is too low, below tolerance, limit of 10.23, amount check. So what it is showing, when I correct the price back to 28 from my item 1, my message will disappear. Note the amount entered is 28. So obviously the amount which was entered was wrong. So system is showing that the amount has to be corrected here. Okay. So once there is correction, this messages will go over. There will be no yellow explanation, yellow sign there. So if there it is green, as I showed you, then it can be done. See here, they are showing you how it is differentiated. So this both is the total of the complete PO, the two lines here, 30,400 is 28 and 2,400 the total. So balance should always be zero. Balance, why it is zero? Because you are telling system that this amount and this amount are matching. So it is giving you balance zero. This is the meaning of this. You can stimulate also the invoice by clicking stimulate button and save. Stimulation results are like below in this screenshot, and it will show you the document number. After saving for the stimulation, then you will get the document number. There is will always will be a unique document number. So next step is how to release an invoice. An invoice is blocked for payment until it is manually released. You can release the invoice by using T code MRPR. So, for example, if you don't want to pay a supplier due to some reason, there might be many reasons. Maybe the delivery is not on time. You want to charge back some penalty to them, or what the material which you have received has an issue, like it is broken, it is damaged. Then invoices for that can be automatically. You will inform the finance department uh, by system that this invoice has to be blocked. Then there is an option in MRBR that invoice can be logged by you. Okay, once you log the invoice, then this will not be released for the payment until it has been released. Okay, so you will use T code MRBR on the next screen. Let's navigate. So once you see the one second. Once you see the code MRBR, then you will use company code, and you will use the invoice document number, same document number which was created here in the previous step which we saw. We will use This will navigate that search screen. Okay. So once we execute the code MRBR on the initial screen, we enter the company code and the invoice number, which was already, which we have it in our data or in our hard copies. Then check the release method. It can be released manually or on the next screen, or it can be done automatically also through Miro. When it is not being blocked, it will be released. So here we are doing the manual payment block, so we have to select the manual option, release manually here. So once we enter the invoice number here, once we enter the which invoice we have to block, then we will select this as third step, release manually. Then manual block for payment, you have to select the block procedure, what procedure you will use. Then you will select the manual block for payment. So here, this is the next screen. You will see that which invoice is available for blocking. Then you will just select here from the first tab. You will click on this red button here, filed with green flag. Okay. So you will, once you select and once you click release, then this invoice means this has to be, it has been released to FI. This is releasing part. Okay. Once it is in this color, then financial department should be seen. Okay, your finance department should be able to see that once they enter or this after the due date of this invoice, they will be able to see that this invoice is free for releasing the purchase order. Sorry, for to release the payment for this purchase order for specific purchase order, it is okay. It is green. Once the GR has been done in the system, then they will come to know and it has been released, so that they can pay the supplier on their bank account, whichever it has been saved in the system. So now we will go through service purchase orders, how it has been created. This is the same procedure which we studied in the previous class, that which T code has to be used, how the service PO. There is a little bit slight changes in the service PO compared to the standard PO, purchase order creation process. So just what you will do is in the step one, you will use ME21N. Choose the document type of FO framework order and choose the vendor. All this process is same. So you will choose vendor, choose validity of the start of the PO, choose an account assignment category in which this has to be charged, the item category. Enter the description of the service, enter the quantity of unit of measure, enter the price of the service of PO. So all these steps has to be followed here. In the screen, you can see screen navigation. In framework purchase order, this is part one, how it has to be selected. It can be standard and it can be framework. You will just select it from here. Then in step two, you will see the vendor number one. Okay, this is the vendor number one. You will have to select which vendor you are ordering. Obviously, this is the sample screen here, which is shown. So it is as vendor one. Then in the real SAP, when you have the real data, when you are working on the real data, then you will have unique numbers for each vendor. Obviously, their names will be mentioned. So you will select that particular vendor. Also, there is search option for that. If you have only their name, you will just once you click it here, you will see a small search icon. Then you can click that name, search for that particular vendor, and you can search for them, and you will get their vendor details. Okay. Then here Then here you will have document date. This is automatic. It can be changed also the past future. It's okay. But usually this is kept as the same date when which you are working or creating. Here validity start date is when this job of consultation will be started and when it has to be ended. This information you are providing. Okay. So here in item 4 in the this is header data. Once you finish the header data, there are other informations also in header which you will have to enter. We will go through it later. So here in next item details, item number 4 is K. This is A is nothing but the accounts assignment. Okay. Once you enter it on the K, means that you will have to charge to this cost center. If it is P, it is project. There are many criteria which can be to be charged. So it will be based on the project manager what he will select in this field, or this it has to be charged. Where it has to be charged, it is basically under the controller or controller of the project manager where he will select or where it has to be charged. Okay. So here you will have to enter, because this is framework for the service. Just you will enter the next step as consultation services for this. So here you will enter the next is PO quantity. You will enter as one or how much your quantity is required. Then this is next is unit of measure. This one piece, in what unit of measure it will be taken. Then 7 is delivery date, when you need this to be done, the services. And this is the next one. This is the unit. So if you enter it here as 2 and if you enter it here as 900, then the header here, the conditions here, if you click it, then the system will automatically calculate the total. This you are telling that 900 is per one piece. So it can also be, if you want that you want it to be 500 per two, so you will enter 1000 1000 here, and if you enter 2 here, then the unit price will be divided by 2. So 1000 by 2 is 500 per unit price. So this is how the system calculates. So here, so in the normal PO, when you the PO in the purchase order has been created, you will not see this tab, services tab there. Once it is service only, then you can see once again. Okay, I was let us continue. So what I was telling is, in the normal purchase order, you will not see this service tab. Okay, when you have ordered the goods or materials, then you will not see this service tab. Only when you are using the services, then you will see this services tab. Here, once you enter here in the item detail, this data, same data will be picked up here. Okay, same data in the short text will be entered here automatically. Then Then you might be prompted for the account assignment information. Here you can enter the GL account. It will be proposed in more cases. So GL account, you will have a unique GL account for each and every type of goods. So subtype the head category of goods, which if it is goods, if it is services, everything will have an account where this will be back charged in the background. Usually the finance team will have this information and the PM where this has to be charged. So GL account, once this has to be entered, then obviously the cost center, this is training material only, so it will be entered as SAP. So once you execute it, then this will be saved in the system. Then overall limit, what this is telling, this is no limit once you click this. So the system is identifying that this is the limit amount. Expected value is 900, but it can go up. So consultation services jobs, it can be up and down. So overall limit, you have to mention that it will not cross 1500. So if you don't know the limit, then you can click it on no limit. So the value can be doubled up or it can be more. So actual value will be in the later stage. How much is the real value? How much it has to be charged? Okay. So now you have in the delivery tab here. So here you were in the limits, the above screen was in limits. So now you have come to the delivery. In this tab, quantity, weight, schedule, delivery schedule, weight, this is already done in the item details. Quantity we already mentioned, and we already mentioned the delivery schedule when it has to be delivered. So next you will directly jump to delivery tab. Here what you will do is you will click on the goods receipt. Okay. So services, usually they don't have the inventory pile up because this is services, this is not physical material. So you don't have to click on this goods receipt. Okay, you have to click GR non-valuated. This is the option where once you click this GR non-valuated, what system will do is it will do the once the GR has been done, it will give no value in the system. Okay. So here accounts assignment where you entered the cost center and GL account, this will be picked up here and it will be entered. Okay, we don't need storage location for the item or it is not storage stock relevant. Yes, because this is not a stock material. So what system will do it is it will not pick up a specific storage location for this. So once you have closed the sub item details, then you will come back here. Okay, then you will see this all details entered already. So after this all data has been updated, then you can just click on control S or you can click here. I will show you. Same the option, the floppy disk button will be always be there in all the screens. So yeah, just you can check and save the document. Okay. Share non-validated. Okay. So because you had selected the framework PO to be created, so here what happened is you have got a unique number for this PO framework order number. So here this is the PO number which has been created for this service. You will get a unique number. So as stated in the previous classes, the change and display mode are accessed through the same transactions for all standard purchase order irrespective it is a framework PO, it is a service PO, it is a standard PO. Each and every PO it can be accessed through ME22N. This is for change purchase order, and ME23N is for display. If you just want to display what are the contents of the PO, then you will use ME23N as a transaction code to check the purchase order. And in ME22N, you can change the purchase orders. You can change the purchase orders in ME22N if there is some later changes about the data. So this is just the theoretical part, all about the agreements. What type of outline agreement is a long term? This is a long term or yearly or 2 years yearly agreement type which has been fixed with your customer or with your supplier. First one is contractor and second one is the schedule agreement. The contract is basically draft which you agree with the delivery date on the quantity or value. It can be subdivided into quantity and contract value. Quantity is that you will have an agreement in the specific supplier, vendor, or customer that this is the total quantity agreed. For example, let us take the same example of the TV that you will agree with a specific supplier like Sony, if you take for an example, that they will supply 100 or 200 types of 40-inch TV to you. So you will have a quantity that they have to supply to you 100 units of TV or 100 pieces of TVs until the end of the year. So that why you are maintaining this contract, quantity contract, is that until the end of the year you will not have surprises that they cannot force you that we don't have stock or something like that. Just to be secure for your site or for your customers or for your company, that you will maintain the contract in the starting of the year until end of the year, or whenever you are starting for the next 12 months or whatever the time period is, you will have the quantity secured for your supplier. So this is the type of contract. Value contract is based, obviously, you can understand from the term itself that you are going to agree with the customer or supplier for this value, that this will be the value of this contract and this will be the total value for this contract. And you, until this value is fulfilled, you will have the material against that value. So here we will 132, right? We will see this here in chapter. Yes. So we were here. Mm. Quantity contract, how it has to be created. You will use T code, transaction code ME31K in the command field. Enter the agreement type, then you will enter the purchasing organization. Okay, let us go to the next thing. Create a contract. So contract can be created like this. You will enter ME31K as mentioned here. Then you will enter the data. Agreement type is MK. This is the shortcut, I believe, for the quantity contract. Then you will enter the date of agreement which you have agreed with the customer, on which whatever the signatures have been done on the document. This you will enter state. Okay. So you will enter this data. This is already fixed data which you will already have. So here, this is important. So administrative fields, then you will have the agreement date here. So this is gray out field. It will be, so here you can enter the validity start and end date. For example, you have agreed it for 1 year. So you will use this date as start date and this is the end date. Until this date, the company has, and it will expire on this date. And after this date, it has to be renewed again. So here in the step 3, you will enter the material target quantity and quantity for which quantity, because this is quantity contract. So you will enter what quantity and price you have agreed on this contract. So material is, it can be obviously short text, whatever this material or this supplier you have agreed. So you will just use this material code and short text, and it will be picked up based on the material code. So quantity what you have agreed to, just to show you a sample, is 15 pieces here, which you have agreed, and next price is for this 15 pieces, the 4,000 is the net price per piece. Okay. So once you save this quantity contract, contract based on the quantity, then you will see that you will have a unique number, okay, which is 4600. If you can see here, mm, system will give you a message, this message, that this contract has been saved for this quantity agreement. So this is nothing but that you are scheduling a agreement with this supplier, that like, and you have an agreement with them that they have to supply 15 pieces until this, and there can be other clauses also which will cover this. For example, if you don't buy this 15 pieces, so there will not be any charges or something like that. So it will be basically whenever you set up a meeting before agreement and before scheduling agreement, pre you will predetermine, or you will agree to all the conditions which has been agreed in this. Okay, so scheduling agreement can be done. So step one, same type of T code ME31. You will enter the P code agreement, scheduling agreement. The process is same for all type of agreements. Okay, you will have to use the same T code. Here only the, if you click this on the top, if you click on this field, then LP, you will see what is the reference to the LP, what is reference to the contract. For contract, what we used MK. So you can see it will show in the field there what this is referring to. Okay, just you click on this, then you, if you want to create a scheduling agreement, then you have, it will see, it will show you. If you want to click on scheduling agreement, then scheduling agreement code is LP. This is shortcut only. Okay, same data you will enter here. mm, Validity start date and end date, whatever you have agreed in the contract, then M1 material. Exclusions can be done even in system. Same, you will just save it and you will see the agreement here. So here now in this class, this is the last subchapter. Okay, 137, right? So we did it for chapter 5 today. We were in invoice and we are in this chapter 6, releasing the procedure for the purchasing documents. So here, releasing purchase documents means approving this. Okay, this part, usually it is done once the PO has been created by the buyer. The next step, the releasing is not by him. In some companies, it can be added also. The first release will be the buyer itself. So basically, as a standard, the release is done by the supply chain manager, and the next release is done by the company financial approval or controller. Okay, this is the part, and this is just it how it has to be done. Release strategy. I will show you value. And there is what do you tell, the value based setup which has been done by the company, that each value will have you, like if it is crossing, if it is in less than 10,000, then this person has to release. If it is going more than 10,000, these are the persons who will release. If it is crossing 1 million, then this will be the person who will release this PO. This is being set by your company, by your controller, or your what do you tell, the financial team. They will arrange the SAP consultants to set these values or release strategies to be set where it has to be done. Okay, this is not related to the buyer side because we are here going through the data for beginners. So this all will not be covered for you because this is next level of release strategy. Now we have here the purchase order which has to be released, or obviously when you click a purchase order and when you click the status, you will also see one more button for release strategy. Okay, so if you click it on that, there will be two ticks. If there is no, the person who will release it, you will see their codes. If it is not released, then you will see it is in yellow explanation mark. When it is released, then you will see in the. So if you have an option to release, then this is the process. Basically, this option will not be there as a standard overall the world. It is just that we will go through it because of the information purpose only. So you will use MB28. Okay, MB28 is a code which has been used to release the purchase orders in the mass. Okay, not like a single type. You will release based on your code. So M1 is the code which was assigned to you. This you will get it when you have a purchasing group. Okay, if you are in the position of releasing the PO purchase order, then you will get the code. You will just enter this code here and you will execute. Then you will see here. Okay, here you will see the purchase orders which is was under created under your release code. Then here just you have to click on the release, then the release will be appeared. If there are multiples, then you will have an option to select in the check mark for the multiple POs. Because this is here one PO, you will have, if there is another PO, you will see it down. You will click on the both purchase orders if you want to release, and once you click on save here, okay, release and save, then it will be released. So here when you go to ME23 and here you can see that the purchase order has been released. Okay, see, this is the status which will be seen. If it is released completely, you will have information that this has been released completely. Okay, sent, not delivered, all this will be shown to your purchase order. Now this it is being already updated because this was 2013. Now this screen has already been updated. It is like quite different. Okay, the information is saved, but just appearance has been changed. Canceling release also has can be done in ME28. Just you select the cancel release, set release please to deselect this both and select cancel release. And if you enter, see, you can enter the document number also. If you want to cancel a specific document, then just enter the document number here, then click on cancel. So you can select here, this will show this has been released, then you can just click on cancel release. So cancel release will be done. So that's it. So today we have completed chapter 5 here. Okay, we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5. So next we will go to the pricing chapter. Okay, we have 2 more chapters. I think 1 or 2 more classes, then we will complete course. Okay, so next class will be on 28 or 29. I will update you 1 or 2 more classes, then we will complete this course. So this is the 6th class or 5th, I believe. Yeah. So next chapter we will go through pricing, how pricing has to be done next week. So today we have only 1 class. Tomorrow there will be no class. So next class will be on 28 next week. The time will be updated in the groups. So whoever did not join this class, they can just watch this class on the YouTube and then can go through the data. Okay, so if you have any questions, so just ping on the group, send your questions, and we will try to answer as soon as possible. Okay, thank you for joining today's class. See you in the next class. Okay, uh, bye for today. Take care. If you want this data or you want to go through this material contents, I've already shared this in the group. Just you can download and go through to further better understanding. If you have any doubt, ping us in the group. Okay, so fine. Let us meet in next class for the next chapter, chapter 6 pricing. Okay, bye for today. Take care.